Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setups for today. So talk about going sideways. Now, there are a couple of things that we need to keep in the back of our mind at the moment. So the first thing is this little separation here of the oscillators. You see how the one oscillator is already rolling over and separating from the the slower moving oscillator. So that is an indication something is brewing. We have a crossover of the slower moving averages here, although price is stuck in there, which is indicating range, and that's pretty clear. But we did break down and we've now come back up. So if we just apply some basic logic here, that was the move down. This is the retracement straight off the 61.8 Fibonacci. You can see there, inside bar, back onto the moving averages. If you look left, there is this range bar that we're talking about. Now, if I just adjust this range bar again to there, we're just short of the 50% of the range bar. You see the range bar is this bar here. So we're just short of the 50% Fibonacci of the range bar, which is basically the top of not quite the channel, but the top of the last couple of weeks here. So let's just get rid of that, and now let's put these levels in, because that's obviously a very important level, and that is also a very important level. So fake out, is this a fake out, or are we setting up for something else? So these two levels, the top one is 16,840. The bottom one is going to be 16,664. Those are your two key levels on the 8 hour that you need to pay attention to. Now, when we drop down through the time frames, it starts becoming as clear as mud. So previous week we had a move down, then sideways, testing the 150 EMA. And then this week we've got above the 150 EMA, and now we come back into the moving averages here, right? So that is still indicating sideways. Look left, you can see, the minute you're in amongst these moving averages like this, you go sideways. When you are above the moving averages, you have a pretty juicy trend that forms. And obviously when you're below the moving averages like that, you have a pretty juicy trend that forms. So, do we have a trend at the moment? No. Definitely not. And this is from a 3 hour perspective, so there's no trend here. Complete confusion. We do have a break and a retest of the moving averages at the moment, but moving averages are flat. They're not pointing up. There's tails all over the place. This is barbed wire, sideways price action. It is not something that you want to be jumping in on right now. So if we drop down to the hour, you can see some really interesting stuff that happened. So we started the day red and then got going, and then the buyers have stepped in. So when I looked at this just before I did the S&P video, it was looking like it was heading to the downside, and we were looking for something quite interesting to happen. Now I just want to adjust this level and bring it up onto this swing low from the 2nd of January, that 16,660, lock that in. That is my line in the sand. So looking at the hour, we're in amongst the moving averages here, nothing really going on. So let's see if the 15-minute gives us something while you smash that like button for me. Wish you could smash it twice, but anyway. Right. Definitely something brewing. No real trade yesterday, as I said, staying out of the market, stayed out of the market. Did get below the 150 EMA here, but we had these strong levels to the left, so it's kind of pointless trying to chase shorts this moment. If anything, should be looking for the longs, and we didn't. If you look at those 3 attempts to get through this level, and they failed. And I suppose on the 15-minute we're going to have to readjust it to the swing high here. That'll give me 16,652. And then the next level is this tiny little inside bar tail here, at 16,624, and that's kind of where we headed to. There was nothing in between that. So no diversions or anything. Anyway, this was going into, this is the US market. This goes into close. So the cash market would probably have been red. I haven't looked at that, but the cash market definitely would have been down. And now we've got all this barbed wire here. Look at this. I mean, this is not something I want to be exploring with. But in saying that, right now, we obviously have formed a number of other levels. And just look at the price action that's happening at the moment. We broke through the structure here at 16,673. Buyers came in a frenzy to come and test it. So that's what's happening. And it does look like we're rejecting. Probably found some profit taking happening there. So this is going to be interesting today. I think we're definitely not looking for longs at the moment. There is no real concrete long signal, not like we had on Monday. So Monday we had some failure. I mean, that was a strong move. I was expecting a second move, to be honest. I was expecting a little bit of sideways price action, come and test one of these tails and bounce off it. So eventually happened all the way down here, but wasn't really at the levels that I was looking at, and then just went sideways. Now look at the pin bar that's forming. This is a classic example here. So a lot of people see this and they jump in long because now this is going to the moon, right? But we're below the moving averages. Moving averages are pointing to the downside, and they have crossed over as well. And as soon as you see this, you're waiting for a rejection, and you're seeing the rejection happen now. So I want to see this during the market open, when the market opens later this morning. But if you see this kind of price action this morning, I think your bias should be to the downside right now, and then you should have an opportunity to jump in on that. But you don't just want to jump in for the sake of jumping in. You want to make sure that you have price action to trade off. So in this scenario that's brewing right now, I'd want to see this bar close like this. And we've got 5 minutes to go, so I'm going to wait. Well, 4 minutes to go, so I'm going to wait for that to happen on the video. But wait for that to happen. You want to see the red bar start dropping below it. And then your entry will be there, your stop's going to be there. You can see a decent 30-point stop loss. And in this case, you test the lows again at 37-point gain. But if that happens during the market open, and we stay below the moving averages and we start dropping below the low of yesterday, that's going to be my major trigger at 16,624. Then we're looking for a move to the downside. Where are we going? That would be a difficult call because you've got a strong zone of support here. We're going to have to get through this zone, which is the low of yesterday, 16,624, before we can even think about that. So typically I'd want to see a break and a retest of this area, and then the first target is going to be somewhere in the region of 16,566. Okay, anyway, that's it for me today. Pretty much sideways at the moment. So if you're uncomfortable watching the charts, or you're sort of working and you don't have the ability to sit and watch the charts all day, stay out of it. Another opportunity will present itself fairly soon. We are heading into earnings season, so you should see something happen, whether it's a short or a long, it doesn't really matter, but something should happen shortly, which will allow you to get in on this market. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.